All right, Coach, first question. You're back in the NCAA tournament. What can you draw off of last year's experience to help kind of get these girls ready for this year?
Yeah, I mean, first off, like just super excited. We put ourselves in a situation where we didn't know if our name was going to get called. I felt good about it, but you just don't know until then. So excited for the girls, but yeah, for the returners, like last year, really Callie was the only one with real experience, and I think that helped us. Where it's kind of a you don't know what you don't know. This year, I think they know what to expect, but also Florida State, I think we have a little more confidence going into that match versus Washington last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, going off of that, playing Florida State earlier in the season and obviously winning against them, how confident do you feel playing them first round of this tournament?
I think the players feel pretty confident, but as a staff, like we know the changes and they've been playing really good volleyball. And, I mean, share of the ACC titles, no joke. So we have concerns that we need to execute better. We've got to work our serve and pass a little stronger. But at the end of the day, it does help knowing we have already beat them. So it's not a question. It's just, can we play well enough to do it again?
Yeah, what do you think it's going to take to win this first game?
Yeah, like I said, I think the serve and pass battle we have to win. They run a 6-2, so when you don't pass well in a 6-2, it turns into a lot of high ball stuff, and that'll be our strength defensively. But they've got basically the most efficient middle in the ACC. So when they can pass well, they can run both their middles. That will give us some problems. So we got to keep them out of system, and then at the end of the day, we got to play our style of volleyball.
Speak about that a little bit more about how you can really game plan and attack their middles because that is their strongest part of their team.
Well, the first thing you do attacking them is, yeah, serve tough, hit shots that they can't run their middles. But we'll have to scheme with our blocking a little bit. We'll get in front of them a little earlier, try to make them hit shots that they don't like to hit. And then, yeah, the easiest way to not be able to let them run middle is the setter can't set the second ball. So we'll try to attack the setters and defense.
How do you move? So obviously in the first game, Melanie had an incredible game. How do you kind of game plan knowing that they're really going to key in on her on this game?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Like if I look at the last few matches, if I was scouting us, I wouldn't be keying on Melanie. I'd be looking more at Audrey and Jay. So when we played them the first time, not everybody was great. Jay was pretty solid, but not high output. Melanie just had a great match because she was in rhythm and she was getting all the attempts. Now that just all three of our pins are a little more efficient and we got a lot of firepower, I don't think they can. I don't think they can go to Melanie and leave Jay alone on the backside. So it's going to be interesting to see how they game plan.
How have you, as a coaching staff, this week been really trying to pour into Lily and build her up? As she's obviously going to be battling some nerves and some jitters heading into her first NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a young setter like that, you got to keep their mind off of that stuff. So we're just repping out. We're just, hey, you need 500 more reps running the bic. You need 100 more reps running the gap. Like just get her confident in the things that she can do really well, and not let her worry too much about things that are out of her control.
This year, going into this year, you're kind of like on the Big 12 scheduling of back-to-back games. Now that you're in the NCAA tournament to advance, you're going to have to play back to back. Do you think that serves y'all well, having played all those games?
I think for the first two rounds it does, but after that you have that day off in between. So I think it does help us because getting used to the back to back's good. But if we had the day off, it would be better for us. I'm still not a fan. I think that's why we had so much parity this year. Is it's just so hard to beat good teams back to back. The girls put so much into a match that physically they just need a little bit more rest than just a few hours.
How impressed are you that Melanie has battled all kinds of adversity this year, injury wise, to still be named unanimous first team All Big 12?
Yeah, I think she just everybody respects her game. So even though maybe her kills or her efficiency wasn't high every match, nobody wants to serve her, and everybody's afraid of her serve. and she's actually a sneaky good blocker. So I think her level of play was pretty clear that she was one of the top outsides.
I asked Melanie this. Whenever she serves, there's always a bunch of oohs and ahs because people are just impressed with the
Mm-hmm.
power of her serve. Do you ever notice that as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of phase out the crowd, but I can hear it, right? I mean, anytime, like when I was at Baylor, we had Yasi who could fly out of the back row. So there were a lot of oohs and ahs of like seeing somebody that high, and broad jumping that far. Um, but Melanie's serve is one of the best. I mean, she's, in my opinion, top 5 server I've ever seen at this level. And yeah, she deserves some oohs and ahs when she's getting them in.
You as a coach, have you ever, with your time at Baylor, have you ever coached in Fayetteville before?
I have not been to Fayetteville in a match yet.
What kind of atmosphere are you expecting?
I think it'll be good. I think they draw a pretty good crowd. I think they're behind them because they've done so well this year. And we get to that match. They definitely are going to have a home court advantage. But I think if we beat Florida State, we're playing at a level that we can beat Arkansas.
Awesome. The girls were saying that you've kind of been honing into them that like you're starting this off year 0-0. Like don't think about the rest of the season and like your record then. What are you pushing like mentality wise, practice wise with these girls to prepare them for this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the 0-0 is a great start because we've just been plagued with injuries and illnesses, so you can't do anything about it, right? It's out of our control now. So what's in our control is how we train this week and how we play this weekend. So yeah, I'm excited. I've been telling them like everybody else should be excited because we're actually healthy. Like this is as healthy as we've been all season. I feel like we've trained well the last couple of weeks, and yeah, I think everybody realizes like we're in a bracket that if we can execute and just raise our game a little bit, that we could be going on to the next weekend.
Coach, do you ever pay attention? I've noticed a lot of the national writers and national hosts and all that, they're putting out their brackets and none of them are picking TCU to win. Do you ever notice that? Does that motivate you a little bit more going in?
I mean, I don't need them to motivate me, but they did the same thing last year. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right,
Awesome.
thanks.
Thank you so much.